Hello and welcome back to Alice Talks Football and welcome back to another live Manchester United news and transfer news show. And do I say Manchester United or do I say Joke FC? Do I say Muggedoff FC? I mean Circus FC. You know what? We've got lots to talk about. Okay. So we've got Sangare rumours. We will talk about the Sangare to Manchester United rumours in just a second. We've got, obviously, Lisandro Martinez is signed, blah, 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 blah. We will talk about Lisandro Martinez on the positives, all the pre-season stuff, the positives. But Frenkie de Jong, I swear, I'm this close to muting the word de Jong on Twitter because this saga has been going on 10 weeks and it is absolutely killing me. I just do not care anymore. I am just fed up a bit. And today we've been told that Frenkie de Jong has gone on tour with Barcelona. Now, I still think Frenkie de Jong is going to happen, but I think the fact that he's gone on tour with Barcelona means this deal's going away into end of August. We will be starting the season with McFred, and I will rant about why that's awful. We're not prepared for the season. But I don't know what I titled the video. I said something like, I cannot believe Man United let this happen or something. Because I cannot believe Manchester United have spent 10 weeks on de Jong, agreed a deal with Barcelona for de Jong. We saw photos of Murta and Arnold in Barcelona agreeing on the deal for de Jong, have increased their initial offer by 10 million for de Jong to sort the wage problem out. But United have sat there and they've gone and let de Jong get on a plane with Barcelona for a pre-season tour. Like, I genuinely cannot believe United have let that happen. Like, I know we are stupid and I know we are idiots in the transfer window, but we are literally just being mugged off, absolutely embarrassed. Just out now, Ali Derzan has confirmed de Jong wants to join United, but it's saying it will publicly lower his chances of getting a 17 million wages. Is that true? I will come back to that, Nick, in just a second. Is that true that de Jong wants to come to United by his agent? Is that true? His agent said that. I'll have a look. But back to my point. But I will look at Twitter in a second. How can Man United let that happen? Seriously, how can Murta and Arnold let that happen? We are absolutely being laughed at. We are absolutely making fools of ourselves. We are absolutely Joke FC. We spend 10 weeks negotiating on Frenkie de Jong. We spend 10 weeks, we ignore other targets. We spend all this time negotiating on Frenkie de Jong. You think if you started going for a deal in May, they'd be on pre-season tour. We spend all this time negotiating on Frenkie de Jong. We physically fly out to Barcelona, not just Murta, but Arnold came as well. And if Arnold is coming as well, it's about finances. And you think, okay, they're flying out to Barcelona, they're going to finally finalise the deal. No, they agree it with Barcelona. A player that Barcelona have agreed to sell, a player Barcelona and Man United have come and agreed to an agreement over, and Man United said, yeah, we'll give you this for de Jong, and Barcelona said yes. Barcelona have publicly stated their intention to sell de Jong, and then they go back on their word and say he's not for sale, which is stupid. We'll get into that later. Barcelona come out and say, yeah, we want to sell de Jong. Yeah, de Jong's for sale. Yeah. They agree with Manchester United to sell de Jong, and then United sit there and go, cool, let's just let him go on pre-season tour with Barcelona. Why is Frenkie de Jong going on pre-season tour with Barcelona? And why are we allowing this to happen? We're absolutely embarrassing ourselves. I mean, honestly, the thing that gets me, and let me just talk over the situation, is so we started negotiations for de Jong 10 weeks ago in mid-May. Honestly, on Thursday, next Thursday, will be 10 weeks since negotiations. So we spent 10 weeks on this de Jong deal. 10 weeks ago, we get told United are closing in for de Jong. The last 8 weeks ago, we're getting told the de Jong deal's close. The de Jong deal still doesn't happen. Now, Man United have told all their journalists they're confident de Jong will be done. They're confident they'll get the deal done and over the line. Man United's journalists are saying today that Manchester United are willing to wait until the end of August to sign de Jong. Well, the season fucking starts on the 7th of August. Man City and Liverpool already miles ahead of Manchester United. Man City, Liverpool, miles ahead of Manchester United, and they go on pre-season tour organised with their business done, and they will start the season ready. United have had their worst season in multiple years, in the last 20, 30 years, and we're still going to go on pre-season tour not ready. I'm sorry, we're on pre-season tour with one new signing, Malacia. We're going to start the season with basically the squad that completely embarrassed us last season: Martinez, Malacia, and Ericsson. Now, Malacia is a backup left back that I think will push Luke Shaw for first place. Ericsson's a free transfer, and Lisandro Martinez, which I think is absolutely a brilliant transfer, and I will talk about. But we've had one player come on pre-season tour with us. We've had our worst season in ages, and our preparation for the season is just absolutely embarrassing. And our main target that we've been negotiating for since May, we've just get on a plane with Barcelona. That Frenkie de Jong does not come back from pre-season tour to August. So a deal that hopefully, and we were hoping, was probably going to be wrapped up in this week or next week, because we saw Murta and Arnold with our own eyes. We had proof of Murta and Arnold with our own eyes in Barcelona. We also saw that Murta and Arnold had come to an agreement with Barcelona for a fee of Frenkie de Jong, and their new agreement was higher. We thought, okay, surely this Frenkie de Jong deal is going to be done now, this week, next week. But now he goes on a plane with Barcelona on pre-season tour, and Man United sat there and let it happen. And this is what I'm absolutely fuming about. We've actually just sat back and we've let it happen. Leave De Jong, the guy has no interest in United, says RJ. Well, apparently De Jong does want United, but he also wants his wages. I mean, and this is another problem. Everyone's just getting annoyed with De Jong. But as Andrew said, no proper big club do transfer business like this and allow to be messed up every window. I mean, honestly, Steve said we've looked good in pre-season. I do agree with you, Steve. But no, honestly, this is like why I cannot believe United have let this happen. We publicly, John Murta, sorry, not Murta, Richard Arnold said publicly to Manchester United fans a couple of weeks ago in a pub, about a month ago, yeah, we're confident we'll get De Jong. Richard Arnold said that to United fans. Man United and Richard Arnold, John Murta have this De Jong media saga going for 10 weeks. So you're saying our, CEOs publicly said, yeah, we'll get De Jong to some fans in a pub. Okay. We've now been seen going to Barcelona and negotiating a fee with Frenkie de Jong. We've been told from Romano, Whitwell and Ornstein a deal and a price has been agreed. Man United and Barcelona have come to an 85 million euro agreement over Frenkie de Jong, with 75 million euros being paid up front. This has been confirmed by Tier 1 journalists. So all that is needed for Manchester United to get the De Jong deal done is De Jong agreed personal terms, because Man United and Barca have done their bit. Barca want De Jong sold. Man United want Frenkie de Jong to join. They've all done their bit. You're thinking, okay, finally, after 10 weeks, Barca have announced they want De Jong sold. It's all come out publicly. De Jong's being forced out. Man United and Barca have come to an agreement. All that needs to be done left is sort of solve De Jong's wage issue and get him to agree personal terms. Then De Jong will be done. We've publicly gone to Barcelona. We've publicly got this deal done and agreed with Barcelona. It's publicly come out that De Jong is being forced to leave Barcelona and he will leave. It's publicly come out that United are confident they're going to get De Jong. And then 3 days later, De Jong is getting on a plane with Barcelona to the USA for their pre-season tour. Arnold and Murta are being made to look like absolute mugs, because they are mugs. We're absolutely being mugged off by De Jong, and we're being mugged off publicly. We're absolutely being publicly mugged off. Everyone is just looking at Manchester United and laughing, going, wait, I thought they're about to get De Jong and he's going on pre-season tour. It almost looks publicly like De Jong has just gone, yeah, fuck you, United, fuck you, and he's just got on that plane. Like, generally, it's embarrassing. Everyone is laughing at us because we've made it so obvious about our interest in De Jong. We've not looked at any other targets. We're so confident we're going to get De Jong. And Man United are just going to sit there and go, well, we'll let her get on a plane for pre-season. Man United should be panicking. Man United should be worrying. Man United should be sitting there thinking, you know what? We need De Jong for pre-season. Man United should have not let Barcelona play them around, and they should have been hoping to get De Jong in for the start of the season. Because basically, what's happened, and I'm going to say this now, what has happened, okay, is we've spent 2 months, the first 2 months of us going in for De Jong was De Jong talking to Ten Hag saying he'd be open to coming if he has to leave, blah, blah, blah. Barcelona have played us for fools, and this is what I just cannot believe. Barcelona, we'll talk about Frenkie de Jong and his stance in a minute, because I know a lot of fans are turning on Frenkie de Jong, but let's talk about Barcelona. because Barcelona are playing Manchester United for fools. I've just missed the super chat, so let me read this out. Barcelona are supposed to be in a financial mess, but they've signed Lewandowski, Rafinha, Torres, Christensen, and other players, and have De Jong on tour. Exactly, Alex. And this is exactly what I'm about to talk about. Barcelona are playing us for fools. Barcelona is playing is mugging off Frenkie de Jong. Frenkie de Jong is not actually happy with Barcelona. Frenkie de Jong sees Barcelona spending all this money, refusing to give us his wages, and forcing him to go. Okay, if you're Frenkie de Jong, you have every reason to be pissed off at Barcelona, and you have every reason to demand to stay at Barcelona until you get your money when they're spending this kind of money. You're absolutely spot on. I think La Liga need to say to Barcelona, you can't buy anyone until you pay De Jong, Messi, Neymar, Piqué the wages that you owe them, because it's not on. But talking of Barcelona, and look, we're not even getting played by Frenkie de Jong. We're getting played by Barcelona. I mean, the board should resign if De Jong doesn't come. You're absolutely right there. Barcelona signed Andreas Christensen. I think they can't register him because they need De Jong to go to save money on the wage book, but it's basically done. But this is what I want to say. I cannot believe United have let this happen. I cannot believe United have been so stupid on this De Jong situation. So, mid-May, we find out De Jong's for sale. Ten Hag has a few conversations with De Jong and convinces De Jong to join Man United 2 months ago. Privately, De Jong gave the green light to Ten Hag. He'd like to join Manchester United 2 months ago. This is not actually on Frenkie de Jong. A lot of fans are taking their frustration out on Frenkie de Jong, which means when he signs, I don't know if a lot of people are going to like him, which is going to affect how he plays. But this isn't Frenkie de Jong. This is Barcelona. So after, 2 months of Man United, two months ago, United get an agreement from De Jong that it will come privately to Ten Hag. There's multiple phone calls. United know they can get De Jong. So United obviously spending 2 months sort of on this deal with Barcelona, and we're thinking, United, hurry up and just put a bid in. Barcelona got to sell De Jong. What's going on? We find out that Barcelona have kept us there waiting for 2 months. Barcelona had no intention of selling De Jong until they got their financial levers activated. Barcelona were told Man United that they could get him in May, but they actually had no intention of actually selling him until we got into July. Barcelona used the whole of May and the whole of June to get their economic levers activated and all of that, try and get their economic levers in, but they just wanted to keep Man United there. Barcelona wanted to make sure they had a buyer for De Jong before they actually brought Lewandowski and before they brought Rafinha. And this is what I genuinely believe has happened, is Barcelona plan was to buy Rafinha and plan was to buy Lewandowski. Apparently Barcelona actually agreed stuff with Rafinha like 6-7 months ago, but Barcelona didn't want to actually pursue Rafinha or Lewandowski until they knew Man United were going to give them the money for De Jong. So Barcelona, of course, informed Man United 2 months ago that they can get De Jong, but Barcelona ignore Manchester United and tell Manchester United if they want to sign De Jong, they've got to wait until they activate their economic levers. So Barcelona have stringed us along, led us on for 2 months about Frenkie de Jong, completely played us, activated their financial levers. Barcelona now know that Man United will pay the money they want for De Jong and will pay the money they need for De Jong. So they're like, brilliant, we know we've got a buyer and that buyer's going to wait, and that's fine. So Barcelona go, let's go get Rafinha, let's go get Lewandowski. Barcelona have used us. I cannot believe United are being mugged off like this. They had no intention of selling De Jong until July. I believe they will sell De Jong, and I believe they want to sell him now. But their whole plan was, let's see if we can find a buyer for De Jong in May. Obviously, we're not going to sell De Jong to July, but let's just string them along May and June, get our economic levers sorted. As soon as they realise they can get Rafinha and Lewandowski, they now want to sell De Jong. Okay? But they only told us we could get De Jong in May because they wanted to make sure they could buy Lewandowski and Rafinha first. Because they know Man United are idiots and idiotic enough to just wait for this deal. They know Manchester United cannot publicly lose out on De Jong. Barcelona, and they know this, and this is why Barcelona are playing us, is Barcelona know physically the board will not be able to take the backlash of us not signing De Jong. Barcelona know if we don't sign De Jong, Murta and Arnold have got to resign. They've been so publicly humiliated. We spent all this time on the De Jong deal. If Man United don't get De Jong this summer transfer window, we are absolutely humiliated ourselves. And Barcelona know this. And Barcelona know how bad it would look for United if they don't get De Jong. And Barcelona know that we will get De Jong. So Barcelona, and they know that we will get the money for De Jong. So Barcelona are going about their stuff. But Barcelona literally are mugging us off because Barcelona are trying to play us into paying De Jong's wages. This is what I believe is going on. They brought Rafinha, they've brought Lewandowski. They thought, boom, we've got our 2 players in. They know that Man United will wait until the end of August. They know that Man United physically cannot lose out on De Jong because we are fucked if we do. He is the whole plan. It will publicly embarrass us. They know we cannot afford to lose out on De Jong. So Barcelona are like, you know what? We need to sell De Jong, but we'll happily play the long game because we know Man United cannot afford to miss out on this player. I wouldn't be shocked, and I hate saying this, but I would not be shocked if this goes all the way down to deadline day. And I will say this now. I honestly wouldn't be the tiniest bit surprised if it goes all the way down to deadline day, because Barcelona are going to play the long game. They know they've agreed with Man United that they will sell De Jong. They've agreed with Man United that they will sell De Jong. And Barcelona do need to sell De Jong because they need to register Kessie and Christensen. They need, they've got Lewandowski, they've got Rafinha. They need to balance their FFP. But Barcelona also know, as desperate as they are for the money for De Jong, Man United are that desperate for De Jong because Man United will look like idiots if they don't get De Jong. And Barcelona are like, you know what? Let's say publicly De Jong's not for sale. Let's take De Jong on pre-season tour of us, even though we've told De Jong to leave, even though we've agreed with Man United that De Jong can go there. Let's take De Jong on pre-season tour with us, and let's hold on for De Jong as long as we can, because we don't want to give De Jong 70 million in wages. But maybe if we hold on for De Jong for so long, United will go and pay De Jong's wages for him. I generally believe Barcelona deliberately put that De Jong on that plane and are deliberately stalling this thought and are deliberately playing the long game because they know that Manchester United cannot afford to give up on De Jong now. They know, we know that United are willing to play the long game, which I'm not happy about because I think we are so underprepared for next season, and we will now be starting the season with Fred because a De Jong deal that could have been wrapped up a month ago, we are going to take all the way into the end of August. But Barcelona are more than happy to play the long game because they know they've got money there from Man United. They've got their Barcelona can sit and relax because they've got their 85 million euros guaranteed, and they can sit and relax. And then on deadline day, they can be like, yeah, De Jong, fuck off, sign it, bye. Okay? They can do that. But they will happily take De Jong on pre-season tour, happily publicly say De Jong is staying because they are trying to play us because they know we're idiots into paying De Jong's wages that they owe him. They know we're idiots. They've completely played us from the start, and this is what I'm angry about. They told us in May De Jong's available. They had no intention of giving us De Jong in May or June. They needed to activate their financial levers. They just wanted to know if we're available. So they played us in May. They played us in June. We get into July. They're like, okay, we know that we've come into July, and they know that now Man United will give them a guaranteed 85 million euros for De Jong. They can get their Lewandowski and Rafinha business wrapped up. Now they know Man United will 100% give them the money they want for De Jong. And that's all they wanted to know. And now they know Man United will give the money they want for De Jong. They'll happily just play around with this deal for as long as possible until deadline day and see if Man United give in and want to get De Jong early. Because they fooled Murta and Arnold for 2 months, got us to wait for them to activate the economic levers. They fooled Murta and Arnold coming all the way to Barcelona to get this deal sorted. They know Murta and Arnold are fools. They know United are idiots in the transfer market, and they know that we need to be prepared for next season, and that actually, it would be really important for us to get De Jong in for pre-season, for the start of the season, because we've got McFred, and they think, well, we know we're going to get our 85 million euros for De Jong at the end of the day, unless, De Jong doesn't come to United. But what I'm trying to say is, because I'm not explaining this very well, De Jong has actually told United he wants to come. Okay, do not be mad at De Jong. De Jong has actually told United he wants to come. He's waiting for his money first, and he's going to stay to see out if he can get his money. And Barcelona know that De Jong actually wants to go because he's fed up with how Barcelona treated them. Barcelona know that De Jong has told Man United he will go. Barcelona know at the end of the day, De Jong is going to go to Man United, and Man United are confident De Jong's going to go there. But Barcelona want Man United to doubt that De Jong's going to go there to see if they will panic and pay his wages. That is what it is. They know Murta and Woodward are mugs. So they're like, you know what? We've literally agreed with Murta and Woodward that this player is for sale, but we're just going to let him get on the plane as well. We're absolutely just going to let Frenkie de Jong get on the plane as well, and it's embarrassing. Just shows how little respect we have in the sport anymore. We continue messed about like this, as Andrew. Exactly. Do you think Man City would be messed about like this if they were all in for De Jong? Man City would have De Jong right now with them on their tour. Man City would have had De Jong with Haaland at their announcement if it was Man City. Any proper club would go and ring up Barcelona and say, if De Jong gets on that plane, I'm pulling out, you're not getting your money for De Jong. That's what Man United should have done. Man United should have rung up Barcelona and said, look, if De Jong gets on that plane, Man United should have rung up Barcelona and said, we want De Jong for the start of pre-season. We want De Jong for the start of the season. We want De Jong to be involved in the last 2 pre-season games. Man United should have said, we have spent so long on De Jong. If De Jong goes on that plane, we drop the 85 million euros and we're going to go and look at other targets. That would have caused Barcelona to panic, be like, shit, because we've just got Lewandowski, we've just got Rafinha, we desperately need those 85 million euros because we've got Lewandowski and we've got Rafinha because we thought we were going to get those 85 million euros. It will cause Barcelona to go in this frenzied panic and go, you know what, De Jong, you're not allowed on the plane. I think that's what Man City would have done. I think that's what Liverpool would have done. But Man United have got no balls. United have got to play hardball. I tell you this now, when it comes to relationships, who wins? The girl that gives the boy all the attention and is all lovey-dovey, or the girl that plays hard to get? The girl that plays hard to get always gets the boy she wants, because the boys always go for the girls that play hard to get. And Man United, they need to do that, but they've got no balls. They need to play hard to get with Barcelona, because that's what City would do. That's what Liverpool would do. They need to say to Barcelona, yeah, if De Jong gets on that plane, we'll drop the 85 million euros, because Barcelona will panic because they need the 85 million euros. They have to sell him. They have to sell him, and they'll go shit, and they wouldn't allow him on the plane. But Barcelona know that Man United are idiotic enough to wait to the end of the window. And they'll go, okay, well, Man United are not going to drop their bid. Man United want De Jong desperately. They're not going to threaten to pull out. So we'll just let De Jong go on pre-season tour and do our stuff with De Jong. Why not? Because the money's still there from United. They're not going to pull out. United need to play hard to get. United need to grow some balls. And I say this now. The girl that plays hard to get gets all the boys chasing after us. The girl that's desperate, everyone knows she's available and they want to do better. And Man United have made themselves come across as the desperate one. No one wants the desperate one. And everyone knows you can mug about the desperate one. You can use the desperate one until you get what you want. And that is what Barcelona are doing with us. And I cannot believe we've let them get on that pre-season tour plane to the US with Barcelona, because City wouldn't do that. Liverpool wouldn't do that. And that is absolutely why I'm fed up with this as well. People saying United should back out the deal. I think we should. I think we should threaten to back out the deal. I don't think we should actually back out the deal, but I think we should threaten to back out the deal and then go back for him when Barcelona panic and need to find a buyer, because it's embarrassing. We should be looking at Fabian Ruiz. We should be looking at Neymar right now, because we're absolutely embarrassing ourselves. A lot of people saying we need to dump the deal, and I understand that as well. Honestly, I mean, Laporta is a madman. We need De Jong as a, yeah, honestly, I don't want to see him at Fred again. Buying right back another midfielder like Neymar, all out De Jong. I agree, Saeed, but I will 100% stick with this analogy. It is literally like, in the world, if you play hard to get, or if you're desperate, okay, if you're dating and you're the person that's desperate, or you're the person that's playing hard to get, the person that's playing hard to get always wins. Because if you know someone's available, you're like, you know what, I'll leave them there and I'm just going to wait and see if I can do better. If you know someone desperately wants you, you're just like, oh, I'll just leave them there. I know I can get them if I want them. I'm going to wait if I can do better. And that's, United need to play hard to get. We need to set concrete deadlines. Letting Ralph go and not bringing Mitchell in has been shambles. We are shambles at negotiating. We need to set concrete deadlines. As Andrew said, you're absolutely spot on. And any Barca player Man United go for should be booed no matter what these snakies. Honestly, Barcelona have snaked us off. I'm fuming at Barcelona. And I'm going to say this now. I will talk about Sangare. I'm going to talk about Sangare in 1 minute. I will say this now. I understand that people are frustrated with De Jong and for getting on that plane and all of that. But if you were owed 17 million in wages, would you not do the same? Okay? Would you not do the same? Because I think De Jong wants to come to United. This is generally, I understand why everyone is frustrated with Frenkie de Jong. I understand that, but this actually isn't Frenkie de Jong. This is Barcelona not paying De Jong. It's not that De Jong doesn't want to come to United. It's not that De Jong is publicly saying, I don't want to come to United and all of that. It is basically Manchester United, Barcelona mugging us off. De Jong generally wants to come, but he's refusing to leave until he gets his money. And I think a lot of people will do the same, and a lot of fans are turning on De Jong. And you know what? I don't blame them in the slightest. But it's Barcelona mucking us about, not De Jong. It's Barcelona playing us to see if we'll pay De Jong's wages and all of that. And that's what I want to get into. I want to quickly read out an article that's come out from Steve Bates, who's a very good journalist. And Steve Bates is a very, very good journalist. He's very high tier 2. I wouldn't put him in tier 1, but he's borderline tier 1. And he says, and he does a lot of inside information about the club. Steve Bates said, sources close to Frenkie de Jong say that privately he's in constant dialogue with Erik ten Hag and is willing to join the former Ajax boss at Old Trafford. Steve Bates also said that Frenkie de Jong and his tough negotiating agent Ali Derzan believe expressing a public wish to join United will weaken their position as they fight Barcelona for a payment of the money de Jong is owed. It's come out that discussions have already taken place over Manchester United paying De Jong the wages he's owed and reducing the transfer fee accordingly, but complicated tax implications as well as abiding by UEFA and FIFA codes of practice have made that a non-starter. It's also come out from Steve Bates that Ten Hag and the Manchester United hierarchy know De Jong's strategy of getting his deferred wages paid first, and that is why Chief Executive Richard Arnold and Director of Football John Murta was spotted meeting Barcelona officials in Spain last week, and that Eric Ten Hag has told Manchester United chiefs weeks ago that he didn't want to chase for De Jong to become a protracted transfer saga lasting all summer, but the wage issue is beyond United's control, and he has told negotiators to keep pressing until the deal can happen. This is what Steve Bates has come out and told us about Frenkie de Jong, and this is the situation on Frenkie de Jong. So the whole situation is, and this has come from a good source, that Frenkie de Jong, and this is what I thought would happen, is that Frenkie de Jong has privately said to United that he wants to come. So De Jong and Ten Hag are in regular contact. And De Jong has said privately to Ten Hag he wants to come and has constantly reassured Ten Hag he wants to come privately. But De Jong and his agents are saying publicly that he wants to stay because that will strengthen his position to get his deferred wages. De Jong actually doesn't want to stay at Barcelona, but they're deliberately saying publicly that he wants to stay at Barcelona because it strengthens his position to get his deferred wages. If De Jong leaves and implicates that wants to leave publicly, it's harder for him to get his deferred wages. Manchester United flew to Barcelona with Murta and Arnold to discuss paying De Jong's wages with Barcelona, but because of tax, UEFA and FIFA codes, apparently Manchester United cannot pay and cover De Jong's deferred wages, which is exactly why we flew to Spain. So the situation is Ten Hag didn't want this to be a transfer saga. He realised this is not our problem, it's Barcelona's problem, and now United are willing to wait for De Jong. So we've been told by tier 1 sources, well, high tier 2 sources, that De Jong wants to come, and De Jong has expressed privately he wants to come, but publicly, him and his agent are saying he wants to stay because it increases his chances of getting his wages from Barcelona, and that De Jong is fed up that Barcelona haven't paid him, and that United offered to pay those deferred wages, but apparently it breaks tax codes and stuff. And I'm not surprised by this at all. I'm not surprised by this at all. United would have not spent all this time going for De Jong if he didn't want to come fat. That's why we're still in for him now. And Nick's absolutely right. De Jong does want to come to United, and there's a lot of fans turning on Frenkie de Jong. There's a lot of people that I think when we sign Frenkie de Jong will not be happy. They'll be thinking, you know what? This player doesn't want to come. This is another Di Maria, and this is the problem with this. De Jong wants to come. I will tell you this now. De Jong wants to come. But there's a reason he's saying publicly he doesn't want to leave Barcelona, because that increases his stance of getting his deferred wages. And all your anger and frustration with De Jong and all your anger and frustration with Man United getting played, it's Barcelona the problem. Barcelona are causing this deal to stall. Barcelona are causing all the problems, not Frenkie de Jong. I tell you this now, Frenkie de Jong wants to come, and he is doing this purely because he wants his money from Barcelona. He is absolutely annoyed at Barcelona. He wants his money, and he's pretending he wants to stay when he's privately told Ten Hag he wants to join. And this is the whole situation. Man United are being mugged off by Barcelona. Barcelona could go and pay De Jong his wages if they wanted to. They don't. Barcelona are going to drag out this deal for as long as possible. They do not care because they know at the end of the day they'll get their money from United. Barcelona know at the end of the day De Jong will join United. I say this now. De Jong will join Man United. I'm confident of it. It's a matter of when it will happen. And I generally think we'll be sitting here in a month and this saga will still be going on. And I am fed up of this. If De Jong didn't go on pre-season tour, you're thinking this saga is wrapped up in the next week. The fact that De Jong's gone on tour means this saga goes into August. And this is what I'm annoyed about. United are allowing this saga to go on until the end of August, when we cannot afford to start the season with Fred. They let us down last season. They've been crap for 2 seasons. They're not good enough. So we should be going for De Jong. And we're sitting there just letting him go on tour. And I cannot believe we're letting that happen. And I know I've repeated myself a lot, but that is the situation. De Jong wants to come, but he's stating publicly that he doesn't want to come because he wants his money from Barcelona. He does want to come. Barcelona know we will pay the money, and Barcelona know De Jong will leave. And that is why they're playing hardball. And it's a disgrace that we've let him get on the plane, because we should be the ones playing hardball, saying if he gets on that plane, we pull out. Because Liverpool, City, Chelsea would have all said to Barcelona by now, if he gets on that plane, we're pulling out because we want him at the start of the season. Now he's gone on that plane, we won't have De Jong at the start of the season. And if we just played hard to get, I tell you what, we'd have scared Barcelona into paying his wages, because Barcelona have brought Rafinha and Lewandowski. They physically have to sell De Jong. If they don't get the money for De Jong, Barcelona are screwed. their FFP, they get points deduction, they could get kicked out the Champions League. So much could happen if Barcelona don't sell De Jong. They're in massive financial crisis, and they cannot register Kessie and Christensen until De Jong is gone. And if United threaten to pull out their offer for De Jong, because Chelsea aren't actually in for De Jong, Barcelona would panic, and they would probably stop De Jong getting on that plane, and we'd probably get De Jong. But United haven't got the balls to play hard to get for De Jong, and Barcelona know that they can walk all over us. And this is what is absolutely embarrassing as well. De Jong has many admirers who can guarantee him Champions League football. They have admirers, but no one's willing to give Barcelona the kind of money we are. And Barcelona need as much money as they can get. But De Jong is dropping Barcelona squad in the USA and flying on the plane to Australia. I mean, I hope that's the case, but honestly, it's not. It's absolutely embarrassing as well. Absolutely embarrassing. I want to get into the Ibrahim Sangare news because I've generally spent half an hour ranting on the De Jong situation. It's doing my head in. But it came out from Goal, and not the best source of information, but it did come out today that United and Chelsea are interested in Ibrahim Sangare. He's believed to have a 35 million release clause, which is £30 million in his PSV contract, but he also has 3 years remaining. And sources close to the midfielder say he has his heart set on a move to England, and he could be convinced by playing in the Premier League. There's a lot of reports coming out today that United have got an interest in Sangare, and Sangare would like to move to United. However, multiple journalists have reported today that United are interested in signing Sangare. There was even a report that United have held talks with Sangare. A lot of stories about Sangare to Man United have come out today. But ADNL, which is a really, really reliable source, and ADNL were the first people to confirm that United were in for Malacia. At the beginning of May, ADNL said that United were keeping tabs on Malacia, and they were the only people to report it, and we signed Malacia. You know, and ADNL said that the rumours about United talking to PSV about Ibrahim Sangare are not true, according to those involved, and Eric Ten Hag does not seem as a reinforcement. So although we've got multiple sources saying we're in for Sangare, we've held talks with Sangare, and we're interested in signing Sangare, ADNL, which is a source I trust, a very reliable source, had said that these rumours are not true. Now, I'm going to believe, although loads of journalists are saying we're in for Sangare, so I believe ADNL over all the other journalists saying that we are not in for Sangare. He's not a player of interest, which is disappointing. I think we've talked about Sangare. I think that Sangare is potentially an option, but I think if we wanted Sangare, we would have been linked to him at the start of the window. He plays in the Eredivisie. The first few players we'll link to were Eredivisie players because Ten Hag knows the Eredivisie. I think if Ten Hag wanted Ibrahim Sangare, I generally think we would have been linked to him at the start of the window. So despite lots of reports saying we've held talks with Sangare today, he's got a 35 million release clause, I don't think we'll get Sangare. I want Sangare. I think he'd be a brilliant signing. I think he'd be a brilliant addition for United. And there's lots of rumours and links to us getting Sangare. But my feeling is that we won't get Sangare. We're not interested in the Sangare. And the one reliable source that's come out about in the Sangare story is saying that it's unlikely, which is unfortunate because I actually think it would be a good signing. As David says, guys, please do smash that like button if you haven't already. Of course, share the video and subscribe down below to Alice Talks Football if you're new. If you want to stay up to date with all the latest Manchester United news, transfer news, updates and more, please do subscribe to my channel. I go live every single evening on the Alice Talks Football channel, keeping you guys up to date with all the latest Manchester United news, transfer news, updates and more. So please do subscribe for daily live streams and all of that. We're talking about Sangare to United, links to Sangare, but I don't think it will happen. Links to Anthony, I don't think it will happen. But also we've been told in a Steve Bates exclusive that Frenkie de Jong does want to come to Manchester United, but he's publicly stating that he doesn't because he wants to get his wages, and then it's all a game with De Jong and his agent. So right now, and I will tell you this now, De Jong has told Manchester United, Eric Ten Hag privately, he wants to come. De Jong is stating publicly that he doesn't want to come because it's a game of his agents to try and get the money that he's owed. And Manchester United are mugs for letting De Jong go on that pre-season plane. Man United shouldn't have let De Jong go on that pre-season plane because I think if we played hardball, we could have De Jong this week. But I don't think we'll be getting De Jong until the end of August because Barcelona are playing about. They are absolutely playing about. And that is the situation. I don't think we'll get Ibrahim Sangare despite reports. I do think we'll get Frenkie de Jong, but I think the saga is going to go into the end of August. And that is what's really, really rattled me today. Martinez will be done tomorrow, it says Nick. Matthew says, what a waste of time. This De Jong saga has been what a waste of time. I don't think De Jong will be like Di Maria. De Jong's nothing like Di Maria because De Jong actually wanted to come. He generally wants to come, and he stated privately he wants to come. It's because Barcelona aren't giving him his money that he's refusing to leave. He's not refusing to leave because he hates United. He's refusing to leave because he wants his money. Imagine if the De Jong deal extends to August and Ronaldo leaves by then. Honestly, I like Martial. He's been good, but we need a striker. I'm going to say this now. If Ronaldo leaves, fuck Anthony. Get a striker. Rashford ain't playing striker. And if Martial gets injured, we're fucked. Because we can't rely on fucking Greenwood coming back. And there was a report that United are waiting to see what happens with Greenwood. I was like, fuck off when I read that. United up the bid by 8.4 million to help Barca pay De Jong's wages. Knowing Barca, they will pocket that. And Alice, unfortunately, this is the norm of United's transfer business. Sancho took 2 years. Look at 90% of our deals in the last 5 years, mostly sagas. You're spot on, Andrew. This is a classic Manchester United transfer saga. It is absolutely doing my head in. Absolutely doing my head in. I want to talk about the Sandro Martinez to United. I do, actually. I will get back to the De Jong bit because it's wound me up. I want to say what annoys me about the De Jong situation is we are going to wait till the end of August to sign De Jong. We've had our worst season in years. We've been working on the deal since May. We got spotted last week actually in Barcelona trying to get the deal sorted. If we don't get De Jong until end of August, every other team looking at it knows we're mugs and we'll just wait around for a transfer, which is embarrassing. But two, we are going to start the season with McFred. Manchester United needed a midfielder desperately last season, and we have Matic and Pogba. We've lost Matic and Pogba. So the desperation that we need in the midfield last season is doubled because we've lost Matic and Pogba. We only have McFred that can play in those deep roles, and maybe Donny, and Donny hasn't been given a chance in that role pre-season. I like Sedan Iqbal, I like Charlie Savage, but the reason we're talking about Sedan Iqbal and Charlie Savage being the highlight of pre-season is because the rest of the team's crap. It's not actually a good thing. It's not actually a good thing that we're talking about Sedan Iqbal being the highlight of pre-season because it just shows the level that we have in the first team. And we are going to start the season with McFred. So a team that was screaming out for a midfielder last season that's just lost 2 midfielders is going to start the next season without a new midfielder. Eriksen's a new attacking midfielder. I'm talking defensive midfielder. If someone had told me in April that Man United were going to start the season without any addition to the midfield, despite losing Matic and Pogba and having no midfielder, and McFred starting the season under Erik ten Hag, I would have laughed in their face. I'd have been saying, no way will we start the season with McFred. We will get a midfielder for the start of the season. That is how bad United are. That is how underprepared we are. Because Man United seem to forget that actually there's 15 points up for grabs in August. You know, those 5 points we might lose in August because of McFred. If we'd have got De Jong in on time, those 5 points could be the difference between 5th and 4th next season. Liverpool are prepared for next season. Spurs are prepared. You know, Spurs have got 5 signings in, gone on tour, they're prepared for next season. Liverpool are prepared. Man City are prepared. Arsenal are more prepared than us. Even though they've just lost out on Martinez. They've just instantly moved on to Zinchenko, which I think is a stupid deal, but that's just my opinion. We are not prepared for next season at all. And we're going to go into next season with McFred. You know, when we had Matic and Pogba and McFred, it was bad. We just have McFred. We saw McFred on pre-season tour. Then we saw Sedan Iqbal and Savage play those exact 2 positions, and they showed up McFred to the max, which just shows the level of McFred. It just, as David said, it feels like nothing has changed at Manchester United as well. As Andrew said, the midfield was awful last season. We lost Pogba and Matic from that, and we've not sorted the midfield out at this stage. It's embarrassing. And De Jong and his tough negotiating agent, Ali Derzan, are expressing a public wish to join United will weaken their position. It's what I spoke about earlier. We know De Jong wants to come. We know Barcelona need to sell De Jong. And De Jong will state publicly he doesn't want to come to see if he can get his money. But United should publicly say that they're going to drop out of De Jong to scare Barcelona as well. Because we need De Jong for the start of the season. It's embarrassing. And City and Liverpool and any other side would have had De Jong by now. Alice, I think the Frenkie de Jong saga will be prolonged in order for United to have a reason not to make any more signings. I mean, that's a solid point. That's something we would do as well. How is it a stupid deal? We can play left back and centre mid. I don't think it's a stupid deal. I just don't think he's worth £30 million. He barely plays centre mid for Man City. He's their backup left back. You've got Kieran Tierney in. I think it's a decent deal. But I don't see. I think Zinchenko is someone that's not a guaranteed start for Arsenal. That's my thoughts on the Zinchenko deal as well. Honestly, you can take him to court for breach of contract. He can, but he won't necessarily win. Messi hasn't won that case. Neymar hasn't won this case. Why do you think they're going to change it for De Jong? Honestly, I'm embarrassed. I'm embarrassed by Man United. Man United are embarrassing themselves. And you know what? We've literally just let De Jong go on tour, which I think is absolutely embarrassing. You know, we've agreed a fee. Barca have agreed to sell him. And Barca, I mean, I don't even get Barcelona on this. Barcelona have publicly and privately agreed to sell a player, and it's basically all done, and they take him on pre-season tour with them. I mean, I don't know what good. Do you know what annoys me? If this isn't going to do any good to Frenkie de Jong's career, this is doing no good for Frenkie de Jong's career, because he literally is going on pre-season tour for a club he knows he's unlikely to play for, and they're all playing games. Frenkie, you know, it's doing harm to Frenkie de Jong, this saga dragging on. It really is. Frenkie de Jong could be crap the first 2 months at United because his head's in a bad space, and then the fans will turn on him. And, you know, I'm worried about the Frenkie de Jong deal. I sat here and I thought Frenkie de Jong to Man United will be a brilliant signing, but because of how the saga has been dragged on, because of how it's probably messing with de Jong's head, I'm worried de Jong comes to United, it isn't settled right away. Fans turn on him because they're fed up with the saga. He's not happy at United, and it's Di Maria 2.0, and he leaves within a year. I think if United got this saga done last week, and it would have been fine. But fans are turning on Frenkie de Jong, which makes it harder for him to join, even though Frenkie de Jong does actually want to come. It's just, I don't get how we can go into August with this midfield. I do not get it in absolute slightest. It's embarrassing as well. Barca are not going to pay up. That's the thing as well. That's the thing. Barca will not pay up. Why are you being so negative? You're panicking without having real information what's going on. I'm panicking because we're probably going to go into next season with McFred. The fact that de Jong's gone on pre-season tour means it won't be done till August. And the reason I'm being negative, and I've tried to be so positive about Man United, we've looked brilliant in pre-season, but the reason I'm being negative is we've lost 2 midfielders. Midfield was a priority at the start of the window, and we're going to start the season without a midfielder. That is why I'm being negative. Okay? I've tried to be positive about Man United as much as I can. I've tried to be as positive about United. Pre-season's looking great. Martial's looking great. But we don't know what's happening with Ronaldo. Apparently Bayern and Chelsea don't want him. So we might have Ronaldo stay for another year that's going to be here. Okay? We might have McFred for the start of the season. We don't know what's going on with Frenkie de Jong. And also we need to go and find other targets. And it's just, I think comparing us to other teams, we're a bit of a mess. There's multiple reasons for concern. Obviously, Frenkie wants to come, but can't say. We would not be wasting our time on this transfer if he clearly didn't want to come. It's common sense. Frenkie de Jong does want to come to United, and fans are getting upset and annoyed with Frenkie de Jong. And I understand everyone watching getting upset and annoyed with Frenkie de Jong, but it's not even his fault. It's Barcelona's fault. He wants to come. Do you know the extent of Jimmy Garner's injury? I do not, but I'm hoping it's nothing bad. Honestly, if they start the season with McFred, then we're finishing 6th. McFred are bottom level of the league together. There's a decent player in Fred. There's probably a decent player in McTominay, but honestly, Matt says Kimmich would be worth the drama. De Jong's not as good, but not worth all of this soap opera. I agree. De Jong is a brilliant signing, but he's not worth this soap opera. He's not worth this much embarrassment and soap opera over. And I think, Matthew, you're absolutely right there. I love De Jong. I want him. He's a brilliant player. We can't do much better. He's integral to Ten Hag's plans. We must get De Jong. But is he even worth this much of a soap opera over? And that is a very solid point you make. Guys, please do smash that like button. Can we go for 300 likes on the video? Please smash that like button if you haven't already. And, of course, subscribe down below to Alice Talks Football if you're new. Because I will be live tomorrow night with more transfer news. But what I want to do is I'm going to do a poll. And I've got a question to ask you guys in the chat. And that is what to do with De Jong. And I'm going to make a poll. What do we do with De Jong? What do we do with De Jong? Okay, do we let him go or do we wait it out? Do leave it. So I'm going to put leave it or wait it out. I'm going to put in the chat, what do we do with De Jong? Okay, fucking question mark. I don't know if that poll should come up now. But honestly, everyone likes a question poll. What do we do with De Jong? Do we leave it? Do we wait it out? I'm at a point where I think we should go for De Jong. I think we should get De Jong. Sorry if we just got a bit of lag there. I'm at a point where I think we should get De Jong and all of that, but I think we should play hardball. When I say we should leave De Jong, I don't actually think we should leave De Jong, but I think we need to try and make Barcelona. We need to try and convince Barcelona we're no longer in for De Jong. Because I think if you convince Barcelona that we're no longer in for De Jong, they will panic. They will turn around and say, look, we'll pay his wages. We'll get it done tomorrow. We'll force him out. Blah, 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 blah. Barcelona are chill. As much as they need the money for De Jong, Barcelona can be all sitting there relaxed and do what they want, knowing that United are still waiting for De Jong and will pay the money whenever Barcelona are ready to sell him. I mean, what do you guys think we should do with De Jong? Bloat in the poll down below as well. A lot of people saying leave. Nick says, defo wait it out. He's a midfielder that we need. He is. Sedan Iqbal is doing good. I tell you that now. The Sedan Iqbal's doing really well, and I hope that we see him in the Europa League as well, because I think he's better than McFred. Fred and McTominay can be retained by Ten Hag to be better than previous years. Yeah, I think Ten Hag will get the best out of McFred, but we've already seen him pre-season. I know it's only pre-season, that it's just, honestly. Bartholomew says he stays at Barcelona, but he said Messi was staying and he didn't. I believe he will come, but I generally think he's not going to come to the end of August. Steve Bates basically said that De Jong does want to come to United. He's told United privately he wants to come. He wants out of Barcelona. He is happy to join United, but he's publicly stating that he doesn't want to come because he thinks that will improve his position with Barcelona to give him his money. That's what we've been told about De Jong. Now, I want to talk about Cristiano Ronaldo to Manchester United. I want to talk about the Cristiano Ronaldo news coming out and all of that. And reportedly, basically, Bayern and Chelsea do not want Ronaldo, despite Lewandowski going to Barcelona. I thought there'd be lots of stories about Bayern and for Ronaldo, but Bayern have stated publicly they don't want Ronaldo. We're having teams coming out and stating publicly they don't want Ronaldo. So I think Ronaldo is going to be forced into coming back to United because no one wants him. And will that cause a disruption? I don't know. Will De Jong coming in cause a disruption? I don't know. But I just think, I don't want this to be a negative video because we've been really good in pre-season, but we're in a situation where, cool, Eriksen's done, Martinez is done, Malassi is done, that's great. Ronaldo's going to be forced into staying because no one wants him, and there's no point keeping a player that doesn't want to be here, so that's going to cause issues with Ronaldo and potentially the dressing room. You've also got the likes of Frenkie de Jong saga dragging on. I think this saga dragging on is going to do no good for De Jong, and it's going to make it harder for De Jong to fit in at United. And I think that De Jong is a brilliant player. I think he's integral to Ten Hag's plans, but all this is going to be playing on his mind. But also, I think the fact that De Jong saga has gone on for so long, that means that everyone else looking at United knows we're mugs, and any other team knows that they can play us. Just read that De Jong was the first player Ten Hag spoke with when he took over to join United. That's probably the case as well. De Jong is his dream signing as well. Lisandro Martinez is going to be announced tomorrow. I believe he'll be announced tomorrow or Monday. Hopefully Daniel as well. But yeah, just to say, because Bayern said that now doesn't mean it will come. I think there's still a chance of Ronaldo going to Bayern. I still think there's a chance of that happening. But it's like no one's eagerly in for Ronaldo, so we don't even know what's happening with Ronaldo at the moment, which is kind of crazy as well. And stuff. Obviously, Brian Brobbery is not coming to United. Not that anyone cares. He is going to Ajax as well. And obviously, we've got Lisandro Martinez in. Lisandro Martinez had his medical today, by the way, guys. But it has been reported that we've paid 65 million euros for Martinez. Now, I think Martinez is a great signing. I don't think the price really matters because he's who Ten Hag wants. And at the end of the day, we're backing a manager and we're buying in the defender he wants. But we're paying 65 million euros for Lisandro Martinez because we took too long on a deal. Ajax, again, are mugging us off with that price tag. Teams are looking at United and going, okay, they're paying 65 million euros for Eredivisie Lisandro Martinez. They're waiting 3 months on Frenkie de Jong and they're letting him go on a pre-season tour despite agreeing to sign him with Barcelona. Everyone's just looking at United and thinking they're mugs. We can just walk all over them at the transfer window. And look, it could be a good transfer window in the end, but the way we've gone about this transfer window, 65 million on Martinez, because, if we'd got Martinez 2 months ago, it would have been 35 million. People are seeing that we're spending 65 million on him, and people know that they can mug us off with price. People know that we're willing to wait it out for De Jong because we're that desperate to sign De Jong. Like, people are going to look at Man United and just know that they can take advantage of Woodward and Arnold. And look, I'm not trying to be negative because we could have a really good transfer window and all of that. But it's the fact that we're going to go into the season unprepared. We might end up being a good transfer window at the end of August, but we're going to go into the season absolutely unprepared. Murta and Arnold have their first sort of summer together, and they're being played off, they're being mugged about and all of that. Now, I do think Lisandro Martinez to United is a great deal, and I'm happy with it, but we're massively overpaying because we're bad at negotiating. 55 million euros total, massively overpaying because we're bad at negotiating. Andrew said, I say it's bad as it's ever been in the transfer window. No new approach from us. New people, no new approach as well, honestly. And Man United are constantly overpaying. I mean, Man City got Calvin Phillips, Leeds United player, CDM English for £40 million. Now, I think Calvin Phillips is a £40 million player, but you've got to take into account that it's a Premier League player and he's English. You know, if Man United wanted Calvin Phillips, I guarantee you we would have had to pay Leeds £80 million, but they were given to Man City for £40 million. Man City are getting £30 million for Zinchenko. Zinchenko is their backup left back and backup midfielder who barely plays for them. You know, and Man City would rather play a right back over Zinchenko at left back, but they're getting 30 million for him. Jesus had 1 year left on his contract and they got 45 million for him. You know, Man City getting 85 million for Zinchenko, that's a bench player, and a Jesus with 1 year left on his contract. But you're telling me that United last season couldn't get 20 million from West Ham for Jesse Lingard, even though he was one of their best players? You know, you're telling me that United can't seem to get more than 10 million for Wan-Bissaka, but they can get 30 million for Zinchenko. Is Zinchenko that much better than Wan-Bissaka? No, he's not. You know, they're both fullbacks. You know, Man City can sell all these players, but also Man City are probably, because they sold Sterling, Jesus and Zinchenko, Man City are probably going to have a positive net spend, even though they've just brought Haaland and Alvarez and Calvin Phillips in and maybe Cucurella, and they're still probably going to have a positive net spend because they're good at business. United aren't good at business. We spend 60 million on Lisandro Martinez. It's 55 million euros plus 10 million in add-ons, which we're basically paying about 55 million pounds in total for Martinez, which I love Martinez. I'm happy we've got him, and I don't think the price matters because at the end of the day, you're backing your manager. But Man City would have got Martinez for 35 million if they wanted him, and they would have got the deal wrapped up beginning of June, and he would have been on their pre-season tour. Martinez and Eriksen are missing most of our pre-season tour. We signed Eriksen 2 weeks ago, but we couldn't bring him on tour. I mean, there's just no organisation for Manchester United as well. Our players are tainted by failure. City and Liverpool players shine a success. I know, and that's the disappointing thing. Us West Ham guys are tired of Lingard. I mean, yeah, the Lingard saga, I don't know what Lingard's doing. Is Lingard's priority game time and getting back in the England squad on money? I don't even know where Lingard's head is at. I'm surprised he's not at West Ham by now. Martinez was third choice of Ten Hag. During Timber didn't want to come. Yeah, you know what? During Timber didn't want to come, and we moved for second choice Lisandro Martinez. But I still think he is a good signing as well. Zinchenko won a league. What's Wan-Bissaka won? But Ryan Brewster's won a league. Does that make Ryan Brewster better than Bukayo Saka because he won a league? Zinchenko won a league, but he doesn't play lots. He's a bench player. You know, I think Zinchenko is a decent player. I do, but I don't think he's. I think if Arsenal got Zinchenko for £17 million, I'd say a good bit of business. But I just think, okay, you've got Tierney at left back who is injury prone. You do need a midfielder. He can play midfield, but he never plays midfield. Man City would rather play a right back over him at full back. I don't think Zinchenko offers more than Wan-Bissaka in that perspective. I think Zinchenko offers a bit more because of his versatility. But what I'm saying is, you know, if Zinchenko's 30 mil, then Wan-Bissaka's 30 mil. Because Wan-Bissaka's a lot younger. Wan-Bissaka did have 2 good seasons and followed by 1 poor season. You know, Zinchenko wasn't playing regularly for Man City. You know, Bukayo Saka is better than a lot of Man City players. You know, I think he's just part of the team. I mean, 80 million for. I think the problem with Man United as well, teams will look at us and go, "This team paid 80 million for Slabhead." If you pay 80 million for Slabhead, you can pay 55 million for Lisandro Martinez as well. There are reports about Saka going to Man City. I don't think Saka is going to Man City, despite reports as well. I don't know why loads of Arsenal fans are saying Zinchenko is better than Martinez. I don't know how, you know, Arsenal fans can sit there and go Zinchenko is better than Martinez. You know, that's like saying Brewster's better than Saka because he's won a Champions League and he's won a league. You know, I don't. Neymar to City, I don't know if that will happen. Players coming from success will almost always go for more in the market than similar players. I think because Zinchenko comes from a team of success, he goes for more. Exactly. I am really happy with the Martinez signing because he's a left-foot centre-back, which will balance our defence. He can play DM if needed, and with the state of our midfield, we actually might need him for depth. He's a player that Ten Hag wants. He's a player that knows how Ten Hag wants to play. So, in general, I am actually really happy that we are signing Lisandro Martinez, and I think it will be a really, really good deal. But look, guys, I am going to wrap up today's live stream here. Sorry if I rambled on or blagged a little bit. and all of that. But thank you very much to everyone watching today's video. Please do smash that like button. Of course, subscribe down below to Alice Talks Football if you're new. If you do want to stay up to date with all the latest Manchester United news and transfer news throughout the summer, make sure you subscribe, because the minute we sell someone, the minute we buy someone, I will be live to update you guys of any incomings and outgoings occur. I will also be live with more news tomorrow. There will be a live stream tomorrow, and I'll also be doing watch logs. So thanks everyone for watching. Smash a like, smash a subscribe. See you next time. Bish bash bosh, and bye.